Good night, good night, good night, good night, good night, everyone. Happy Sunday to each and everyone. It's another Sports Frenzy podcast. Of course, as you know, on a Sunday, I am your host, Kims. With me again, we have no all rounder tonight. All rounder is making some extra money, so he's not with us tonight. But we do have, very intelligent panelists here. We have Robbie Rich, Jeff Entertainment, a man of many craft. This man is a producer. This man is a coach. This man is a married man. This man is a lover's boy, and you name it. This man is a man of many titles. Obviously, we have Gary Dixon. He's kind of distracted now, people, because he's waiting for his Saints to make it to the playoffs, but they're definitely not making it. And then we have the man, the Toronto man, the Philadelphia man, the Brooklyn man. I don't know what he's not, but Mr. Cream, how are we doing, gentlemen?
I did fine.
Good, good, good.
And I'm telling you, man, I have a piece of headache. I don't know if it's the flu Rona or the corona. Same thing with the producer. Me and him about the same thing. But we're going to kick it off with, obviously, the most important news for today. The most important news for today: Klay Thompson, after 941 days, he will be making his season debut tonight against the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think the game should be starting momentarily, right? And then, just for full, 8:30.
Yeah.
All right, just for full disclosure, right? The last time Klay played, Kemba and Kyrie was a Boston Celtic. Jimmy Butler was in Philadelphia. KD was a Warrior. DeRozan was a Spur. Kyle Lowry was a Raptor. Kawhi was a Raptor. AD was in New Orleans. So that does give you a perspective as to the last time Klay Thompson played a competitive basketball game. So let me start with you, Kareem, because you know about this guy. You know how lethal he is. Even though you guys stole a championship, from the Golden State Warriors that year. What do you think? What can we expect from Klay? Because we realize he said that he felt very disrespected about the top 75 list and all of that. So what can we expect from Klay?
Um, I think tonight it's gonna look to be back to the Clay that we all are used to seeing because he's not looking to come back any to a lesser version of himself. So I expect to see Clay out there making those shots. It's gonna help the rest of the teammates. Wiggins especially is gonna be able to feed now with both Clay and Corey on either wing. So I'm more gonna be looking at him on the defensive end to see if he's still able to be that locked in sit in a chair and guard those guys on the defensive end. If he can move laterally or he's moving or he's cutting on the
Mm-hmm.
defensive side.
Look,
So but it's great for the game. He's one of the guys that people really like. I don't know one person that don't like Clay. So it's good to have him back in the game and expect him to drop like 20 some points tonight, man.
so Gary, we have seen where there's been a dip, in the Warriors play. Corey has been playing, not so hot as he started out. Some 9 points, some 14-point games, a lot of L's, two L's back to back. And so I think they probably need a spark right now. So do you think that this is now the final piece, Gary, for the Warriors just to go ahead, propel, take that number one seed, and lead this team to another championship?
Yeah, I think Clay coming back into the Warriors would really help to boost their offense. I know the last few games we have seen Steph Curry struggling a bit. They have lost a couple of games. Lost the number one seed right now in the Western Conference. I think they're about 29 and is what 29-8 or 29-9.
29 and
And the
9.
Phoenix, yeah, and the Phoenix Suns have been really good over the last say 10 games plus. Curry, I think he's wearing a little bit down. as the season progresses. We've seen this in the past. So Klay Thompson coming in now, even 75% of himself, will actually give the offense and give the team a little bit of a boost. Jordan Poole has been playing well. When if Klay Thompson comes in the team now, I think you have two shooters now to worry about. So you can get some spreading or stretching on the floor. Guys will be drawn to Klay. You have Curry to worry about. So you have guys getting more open shots. Wiggins is there, he can hit down the three. And you have Jordan Poole has a great range on the outside as well. So I think him coming in the game, even 75% of himself will kind of give the Warriors offense a little bit more boost and a bit more flow in terms of shots, guys getting open shots and spreading the floor and so forth. So
Exactly.
even 50% of Klay Thompson, I wouldn't even say 75, 50% would still at least be better than, even though they are playing good so far into the season, I think they have weared down a little bit because Curry is the main man. So getting back Klay now, the other half of the Splash Brothers will actually improve their team overall.
For sure, sir.
What I go and say to them, actually don't rush him come back and give him time.
Yeah. I'm going to respond to that, but just want to big up everybody who is in the comment section, all those people who are watching as well. I'm going to throw this one to you, Robbie Rich.
Yeah.
Shanila Ellis is asking, where do you rank Klay amongst shooting guards? I guess she means amongst active players. So active players right now, where would you rank Klay Thompson among shooting guards?
But I rank him.
So shooting guards, we have Jimmy Butler, DeMar DeRozan, those players.
But I rank him the best.
Would I rank him the best?
Yeah.
Wow, why is that? And why is that?
Because when bring to the game, he bring defense to the game also. Him actually have clutch in him too, and him shooting good. And when him playing, he make Curry do less on the field too. As in, you know what I mean already.
And you would agree that the less Curry does is the better, right? We would agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that. No, we have seen it too. Because look at it now. The less him do, it more sustainable for him. Look at him look wear out and burn out now and so forth. So the less him and Curry and his go on the team, it better. And we just focus on one somebody that win the whole season.
For sure. And you said something earlier. You said you believe that the Warriors hold him out until he was fully ready.
Yeah.
And I must address that because we see a lot of players come back and then they hear, this person minutes restriction.
Yeah.
This person, because Klay could have really come back from about November. But he said out of his own mouth, and I'm paraphrasing here. He said, you know what? He wanted to ensure that he was fully ready. He could play heavy minutes, because obviously he said that he felt a lot of disrespect, people forgetting who he was, what he brings to the table, what he has to offer to a basketball team. So, I have him in my fantasy team, so I'm very excited to see. I hope he can pull off a big triple-double tonight against the Cavs, because that would just make me the happiest man in the world.
When has Klay ever pulled off a triple-double?
Well, hey, Jaylen Brown got a triple-double yesterday, the first in his career ever, so anything can happen. And as we talk about Curry, right? We talk about Curry. I think his last two games that we have seen, right? He was versus Miami, he was 9 points, 3 of 17 from the field, 1 of 10 from 3. And then I believe the other game where he scored 14, I believe that was against the Pacers, I think? I think it was against the Pacers where he had 5 of 24, 1 of 9 from 3. So is it a case where Curry started out too hot and he can't keep up with the pace? Or is it a case where, hey, this is just a regular, this time of year, you just either some players amp it up or some players just take a little decline, because we see LeBron James amping it up, full speed ahead. We see DeMar DeRozan full speed ahead. But what do we think?
It goes back to what he said much long still. I think he needs somebody else on the court with him, as in we can shift the balance of the team, not just only him. And then you get to burnout, you know.
Yes.
So you have to look on that part there too.
He also didn't have pool because pool was in protocols.
Okay.
Pool?
So yeah, remember say he's not too long come out of protocols, so he never did have. So I think over the stretch of games with that pool was also our defenses were able to key in upon him even more.
Yeah.
Make it more and more difficult. So but I think it's just the ebbs and flow of a long season. You know, players have got ups and downs, dips and everything there. So just going through a little rough patch right now, but it's not gonna last long. Where's Klay back now? So that's tough.
Yeah.
What do you think about because I know Corey, remember Gary, I remember you were one of the persons who came on here with the blasphemy, saying that I think Corey is underrated, I think Corey is underappreciated. So go ahead and talk about your Corey.
Nothing to say, no, Kim. Man, usually, is he man look like the man need another sidekick, you know?
Well, you mean they have Andrew Wiggins out there. Andrew Wiggins, remember, I know. Andrew Wiggins balling. You have Andrew Wiggins out there. You have Draymond Green out there as well. You have Gary Payton Jr. out there. You have a lot of pieces out there with Curry. You know, but this is the thing that I don't like when it comes down to Curry. I never hear all of these excuses when he was lighting it up and best 3-point shooter ever, MVP, front runner, blah, blah, blah. Let's look at Kevin Durant right now. Kevin Durant have to be dealing with a part-time Kyrie. Kevin Durant have to be dealing with people in and out the lineup, but Kevin Durant numbers have stayed consistent. You know, see KD has scored on 9 points. You know, see KD no 5 at 25 and 5 at 32 and all of them something. Come on, man. All right.
And the 14 points was against the Maverick Dallas, yeah?
Oh, it was against the Dallas Mavericks. Yes, that night when they put up Dirk number in the rafters, you know, Dallas will lose that game for that time.
it was Dirk night, so Steph didn't want to ruin it.
What?
Yes, Steph get them on them one. Dirk night and Dallas.
Producer, I know you're sick in a producer, but I wanted to put up that comment that Albert Williams, you know, just highlight that he knows that you're in there jumping up for joy. Yes, I can imagine the producer jumping with joy to see Klay ready to take the floor again. I absolutely agree with you, Albert, because you know if you're noticing them. So let me put for full disclosure, the producer is not really feeling well right now. That's why he's not as active as one time. However, it doesn't hurt for us to mention that, you know, Corey has been the one who run your belly. You know, you have two types of Corey. You have the one who run your belly and the one who tastes real good.
Yeah.
Corey that's the one who run your belly. So it's running the producer belly. So as a result of that, the producer don't want to talk about Corey. All right, let us move on to the big left center. Let us go. So, you know, the Los Angeles Lakers right now, you know, they are now 5-0 and they're averaging 127 points per game since LeBron James have started at center. Now, for full disclosure, I've already told you guys I am now a Miami Heat fan. So why am I jumping up about LeBron James?
But jump back on
why
them.
am I jumping up about LeBron James? Well, obvious LeBron James is my player. He is my player, but Miami Heat is my team. So now, I want you to answer this one, Cream. I want you to answer this one. Why is it that a 37-year-old, 19 seasons into the league, why is it that he can play center, but the young person, the soft tissue, the person who is supposed to be in charge, who's supposed to take over the Lakers franchise, why is it that, he doesn't want to play center? He prefers to play the 4. And he's shooting a miserly 18% from 3, but he wants to take jump shot and stuff. Can you please explain to me and to the viewers why this is so? Because I can't explain it.
I'm not sure either. The only thing I can think of is that you know, AD thinks he is
not a center.
He's more productive at the 4. You know, because when he's nightly in the center and have to be matching up against the big boys, then, but it's not every night. But when you have to match up on nights where you have to match up as your Joker and your MB and a bang down, it's gonna take a lot of time. So I don't know. He doesn't like playing the center. He just think he's better suited playing the 4.
How about you, Gary? What do you think?
No, LeBron is partly from the old school. He's physical. He's one of the all-time traditional players. He from ever since I've known LeBron, he likes to get to the paint. He has that physique that he can get to the basket. He can bang in the post. He's multi-talented. He can pass the ball. So he's less of a one-dimensional player. He's not a jump shooter. He's diverse. So his game will allow him to play almost any position. He's kind of positionless because he's really talented and he's physical in nature. 6'9", 260 pounds. They would give him. So he can easily play that position. The new school guys. I don't know if it's a mentality or if it's because of I don't know if they work out in the gym or they don't like the inside game because it reminds them too much of the
all right, Gary, let me stop you one second. All right, so before that, here's Albert Williams. LeBron is willing to play at any position to get his team to win. This man spent over $1 million per year on his body. Soft tissue need to start doing that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, Gary, I think it's time for us to stop trying to make excuses for these players. Listen. For a job, for your job, for Robbie's job, for Creed's job, right? Because I'm a student right now, so I don't work, right? But for a job, right? I am sure when they're paying on they're paying on to do a job. When they can't come and tell them, say, well, hey, if you don't do, I don't know what to do. If you don't have the paperwork, or they can't say, I don't feel like to do this paperwork right now because, I think this is much easier for me. So, Anthony, the soft tissue is getting paid millions and millions and millions of dollars. You have to be able to take care of your body the right way. You can afford nutritionists, you can afford trainer, you can afford, if you want to build a gym in your house, anything, you have all of the money in the world you can do. So I believe it's inexcusable for us now to come and say, oh, well, he doesn't want to go into the gym, or he doesn't want to put in the work. I believe that teams should be able to take back money. Like, say, for example, you give a player money, mid-season they're not performing to their ability. Okay, let's take back some of the money. And I guess that's why you have guaranteed, non-guaranteed contracts and so. But I don't believe it is a total disservice to the Los Angeles Lakers, my former team, that you have a player who is so talented, but yet still doesn't want to work hard. Robbie, Lakers is your team. You jump up and you come on Facebook every single night. Sometimes you criticize, sometimes you're happy. You see LeBron at center. How do you feel about that? And do you think that it is sustainable going forward, going against the likes of a Phoenix, a Warriors, a Brooklyn? Do you think it's sustainable? Right?
No, I'm not think it's sustainable, because remember, LeBron is not big in like so forth, in small in some way, but as what Gary said before, he's more of the old school, in my physicality and so forth, he can pass and so forth. This is what enough of the modern centers don't have. So when he do come across modern centers, he might go do it. But when it comes to a person who have similar thing like Joel Embiid, I think he'd be have a little bit problem of a switch the way
they will. If you notice, they are playing him in center in games that he can match up or has an advantage. They won't play him at center against Joker or against Embiid. Or probably even go beer. They probably wouldn't play him at center.
No, they won't.
So it's against those teams that he can dominate the center position.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna use him.
Yeah. So.
All right. So, there's a person just in the comment section named Crystal Gordon asking who is Cream. Crystal, let me tell you, Cream is a family man. He doesn't have any money. So leave Cream alone, Miss God. All right? Leave Cream alone. So let's move on. All right. So the Golden State Warriors now, right? Steve Kerr announced that the Golden State Warriors will make Gary Payton to contract fully guaranteed. I don't know how much of you guys watch this guy,
Not
but
me.
he is a menace on the defensive end, and his offense is coming into play. Do we think that this? Well, I guess we can all agree that his contract is indeed deserved.
It's
You know,
until the end of the season, right? And end of this season.
yeah, it's fully guaranteed to the end of the season. So and I believe with Klay coming back and all of that, what will happen now is that he will play less minutes, so he can be more. He can go after more. Yes, Levon, go ahead.
I remember that I think it was about a week or two ago, Klay actually gave him a shout out, said that he has been a menace on the defensive end. So
Yep,
a lot of guys not really paying attention to him, but when it comes down to being annoying, this guy is one of the most annoying defensive players I can find right now.
exactly. And then to add to that as well, when you put a lineup, because the only say you put a lineup of Curry, Peyton, Klay, Draymond, and let's say for example a Wiggins. Say Curry going to be the only weak link on that team, but that
Defensive link, the weak
no
defensive link.
yeah,
Oh,
defensively.
oh, you say it.
No,
Show me the way.
defensively, of course. So you remember when what did they call the Warriors 5 again? What did they call them?
The death lineup.
The death lineup, yeah. So I think it can resemble the death lineup, but in a defensive sense, where those guys will lock you up, because as old as Draymond be and as bad as he is on the offensive end, that man is still an elite defender.
Playing well.
All right, Chris Paul, the most underrated player in NBA history, right? He became the first player in NBA history with 20,000 points and 10,000 assists. And I'm sorry, Wally's not with us tonight, because I know this is his player and he will go on and on about him. But where can we rank Chris Paul? I mean, last season he made his first finals. I'm sorry. So Cream, where would you rank him? Point guards of all time. Point guard of all time. Where could you rank him?
I think he's probably just outside the top 5.
Why?
So tell me the top 5.
Let's go. You're gonna go Magic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna put them in any order, and just name the 5. So Magic, Isaiah, you have Jason Kidd. What the Laker guy name again? Can't remember that. The other one. Come back to me. what the 5 there?
All right, Gary, can you tell me five point guards of all time who is better than Chris Paul?
I was running a list in my head the other day. What Chris Paul has missing for me is the
Shooting.
the crowning thing, which is the NBA title. He has been prolific over his career. We all know that he has not played with many superstars. He has been on some teams where he has always improved the teams. But that little asterisk would be the championship. We know we have Magic. There's Jason Kidd. People would consider Stockton. I think what Stockton has done in terms of his record, in terms of assists, is impeccable. There's Isaiah Thomas, who Bad Boy Pistons won 2 titles. I would say he could be I've not looked out of my head. Probably would be just making the top 5 or 6 thereabout. But it's something that I really would have to sit and list and look back at. But Chris Paul, persons will have him in the top 5. I wouldn't argue with somebody for him not being in the top 5. But you persons would probably point to 5 point guards that would be ahead of him. So
far.
So you realize we just do Gary? You just admit persons that are not playing now. So currently is the best point guard playing right now.
Yeah, man, overall all-time list, I thought Kims was referring to.
No. I say just identify something to you. Say just mention persons that are not playing now. I'll mention better time now play, but who might play actually better than no. I think
Nobody know. No,
I think he's one of the most intelligent player in the game.
Man, I ain't gotta put Steph in here as well.
Well, Steph. Yeah, you could. And this is the issue, Cream, with all the game has revolutionized.
Yeah.
Like, you remember back in the day you had the typical, traditional point guard. You had your Magic, and you had your JC Kidd, and you had your Stockton. These guys, evolutionized into two guys. So Steph Curry is really a point guard, but you kind of look at him, is he really a point guard or is he so so that is the kind of challenge you have now, but Curry would definitely be, because he's listed as a point guard, even though he plays,
exactly.
He plays as a hybrid of a point guard and a shooting guard. So Steph is there, yeah. I didn't even remember him just because of how he plays and his.
So Steph is a better point guard than CP3.
If you're looking at the position, it depends. Kems, you see, in terms of the traditional point guard position, how it is played, passing and all of that stuff, Chris Paul is a better passer. You see the record, the numbers are there. You see how he plays the game with his vision and all of that. But in terms of a point guard being listed and what overall offensive game that Steph brings to the table is different. But when you break it down and say, all right, we're looking at traditional skills, passing the ball, running the offense and all of that, Chris Paul would have that advantage. But overall, in terms of offensive game, Steph would be the better point guard in terms of offensive prowess and shooting and all of that.
Shooting.
Yep.
I think that alone Chris Paul really locked, And I think that defied him of the championship in shooting ability. Not so precise.
Injuries, and injuries too. He picked up some crucial injuries in key moments because when they had the ball and get on the ropes.
True.
And it's hamstring went.
When your player can cause things.
That is true.
James Harden can pressure the band this so with him ball out.
Yeah, I remember that season with Houston.
He's a 2-1. Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about the next team. All right. So I know you guys remember what happened between Marcus Morris and Joker. And Marcus Morris has not played a basketball game since that time, right? So then he came out and he said it's a real injury. Imagine having a 300-pound sloppy fat boy run full speed and make full contact with your spine. I'll do that. All right. So are we going to say at this current moment Marcus Morris is too soft? Or do we feel like what do we think about this? Because I just put it up, laugh and giggle. But what do you think about it?
Well, that's because him not play more something for say. I just believe say that. I might try to pick fun at him and so forth. Because I don't think Morris is actually soft. Bad mode people and take off his mode as usual. And it's where when next one name I Skip Bailey, so that say he's like a dog. So but I really think him soft though. I just love talk.
Yeah, just because he's been out so long, and people.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Yeah,
where the hell is this guy?
Hey, breaking news, people! I know this is an NBA podcast, but
the NBA podcast still in
breaking news.
We see the TV. What?
The San Francisco 49ers has just won and made it to the playoffs. Woo! Continue, Robbie Rich. Continue. Let's
and that's, I don't think it's actually soft though.
You don't think it's soft. So Kawhi Leonard, right? So I think this is a big story because Kawhi Leonard is ahead of schedule with his torn ACL, right? And they say he's expected to make a return in the 2021-2022 season.
I don't think they should rush him because they actually do reasonably well without him. Rushing may cause a bigger problem than he actually is. So if you just give him time for come back, man. Them actually do them report them weight, man. Then them not rush him. I'll get a schedule. Can actually be where whatever and body good or whatever. And just learn me can come back. Man. Do something like what they do with Golden State do with Klay Thompson. Give him time for come back. But I rush him.
All right. What do you think about it, Cream?
Kawhi on a whole normally is a very conservative person when it comes to injuries, So
Exactly.
that's why I'm kind of doubt that he would return because he's very cautious and like to take him time. So I would be surprised if he played this season. Put it that way.
Yeah, you
Because
mentioned that
what-
him have an injury history for real.
Yeah,
Love
because
rest.
remember with the Spurs, that's one of the reasons why he asked to be traded from the Spurs because the Spurs medical staff declared him that he's fit, he can play, and he didn't think he was ready. So I believe this is just things to talk about, but I don't believe that they will. I don't think he'll actually play, especially Paul George is out right now. Kawhi is out. It look like they're heading for the play-in tournament because I'm sure they'll finish within the top 10. It look like they're heading for the play-in, but if they finish 9th or 10th, they can't lose any games. So hey, I just think that they should have sit out this season. I heard that they're building a new stadium so that they can move out of the crypto. So when they move out of the crypto, then they can have their own thing. But speaking of Kawhi, I don't think Kawhi is being talked about enough. Remember, when Kawhi came to Los Angeles, remember what Kawhi said? I am the king now. Remember that little thing, that little crown hanging down?
The advertisements, New
Balance commercial. I am the king now. Listen, the Clippers have made it to the Western Conference Finals without Kawhi. Kawhi has been there, 3 years now? 3 years now he has been there. What? 3 years now? And the Lakers have won a championship on his watch. So if LeBron had come out and said, I am the king now, a lot, especially the hater down there in the bottom left-hand corner, you see that hater? That hater would have said, oh, LeBron is a King Kong. LeBron this, LeBron that. Why is it that Kawhi is not getting the flat that he deserves? Anybody can answer.
Kawhi is not measured to the same level or standard as LeBron.
Okay. No. If he's not measured to the same level or standard, understood that. But then, all right, you remember when LeBron and D-Wade them go Miami? Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. Up to this day, they still hurt LeBron. Up to this very day. So I am saying, even though Kawhi is not judged at the same standard, Kawhi did put it out there, I am the new king of LA. If you are the new king of LA, you must make it to at least an NBA Finals. LeBron has been to 10 of them. 10 of them things. Right? So explain to me now why, Robbie Rich, probably you can tell me, why Kawhi not getting the beat?
Because them themselves know say no reach certain levels for criticism. Most of Kawhi Leonard fans are LeBron James haters. Our person who just don't want to see LeBron win a more ring.
Like the one in the bottom left-hand corner.
Can I speak?
Outside of America, I can in the Caribbean, how much Clippers fans are actually here? How much Kawhi Leonard fans naturally follow him like that? A handful. So who actually carry my people now want to see Lakers RC? People are okay rivalry side. So people okay Clippers carrying on like Lakers before LeBron. From the whole Kobe time. And who carry Leonard actually and not a fan of James. So it must have a hating thing or support, isn't it?
Kems. All right, this is Kawhi. All right, I've never really been a big Kawhi fan. No, so me a LeBron hater, right? Fine. Fine. I've never really been a big. No, but I admit it. Everybody know that. I've never really been a big Kawhi fan. And even from
hold on before you talk, Gary. Demo is saying all now no section about Ja and how many wins straight with him.
No, me I'm a patriot, So why when you ask me a question,
But big podcast topic when Grizz were winning without him. 4.
Kems, come on, lick out that big stone. What you saying on that?
What do you mean? When I was planning the show with the producer, we spoke about stuff that was of dire importance. and Josh fell down the line. We'll talk about him soon enough, but he's not the main staple right now. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Gary.
So ever since Kawhi has been, when we talk about soft tissue, he's not. You see, like how you say AD is a soft tissue in terms of his body. Everybody knows Kawhi traditionally from his Spurs. He's a soft tissue. The man make out of glass. He has to load manage. He cannot play excessive amount of games. Can't play back to back. He's a soft individual. You have physical makeup on the basketball court, right? And I've seen a lot of persons, and to be honest, even the title that they won in Toronto, everybody would attribute that to, injuries and what happened with Golden State. Because when they win the East, they beat in the Eastern Conference Finals. I know they won against Giannis. That was he kept developing over the years. He had that weakness. Build a wall and all of that. So they did a good job with the Bucks. Going into the finals, everybody knows that. Listen, if KD was there, they wouldn't have won the title. And I look at Kawhi. He's an exceptional elite player, but I don't see him as an alpha 1A. So put it this way: when we have like LeBron, you will have KD, those players that build a franchise run. Yeah, you can build a franchise run, Kawhi, but you still have to have another 1A player. I don't see him, and maybe that is why in my eyes, I think a lot of the pundits don't give him that kind of ascribe. So when you see KD will get blasted, feeling in the Eastern Conference last year when he was alone with Hubble James, and I don't see Kawhi getting that kind of beaten, because I think in the back of person's mind, yes, Kawhi is an elite offensive player. He's a great two-way player. He was a prolific defender, but he's not that elite 1A superstar player. He's more like a second grade 1A superstar, if you want to call it. So he's right there, but he's just tapering below. So I think that's why they kind of don't give him the same criticism, because put it this way, if they hadn't Golden State hadn't lost KD, I don't see them winning that title. It was just a matter of some haphazards that happened in that playoff. So I don't think he gets that kind of criticism based on those factors.
But when you actually say New Kingdom, it was actually surprised, because that's not normally his personality. So
yeah, I guess is the coming to LA the hype, and I don't know if he was fooled by his uncle. I know his uncle kind of wants to push him out there as that kind of a person, but it was strange to most persons, but I guess it's a new persona they wanted him to have, because I guess they were saying he was too low key and quiet and don't have any persona. And coming to LA now, you have to come with that kind of hype, because it's the big town, it's a Hollywood town, it's movie, So I think coming into LA now to the Clippers, I think they wanted to present a new image, for persons out there to say, all right, yeah man, Kawhi, is coming on to be this kind of a character now, seeing that you're coming in the same place with LeBron, So maybe that is what the motive or the idea behind that one.
I don't know against Kawhi though, but me honestly would not build a franchise around him because of the load management and the history of injury. I wouldn't do it. Now if we go near to team level, now if we go something near to team level though, for win a championship, I'm gonna think that really that necessary.
All right. So there have been questions about if Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum can play together in Boston. Obviously there have been a lot of talks that Ben Simmons, there should be a trade for Ben Simmons and all of that kind of stuff. So Jaylen Brown responded and he said, I think we can play together. We have played together well for the majority of our careers. Mm-hmm. The last year or so, it hasn't gone as expected, but the adversity will help us grow and get better. Yeah. If you are, Robbie, let me start with you. If you are the GM for the Celtics, do you keep this nucleus together, or do you be like, hey man, it's been a good run, we have to break it up?
Yeah, but I break it up because something actually not go right. This is not the Boston Celtics where we are used to. All right, so of course you're going to change it. When something not work for more than 1 season and stuff, you ever change. You'll be really stupid not to really alter something like that. But who would actually get to improve them squad? We have to actually sit down and think about that. Because they are losing, and it's not us 1 year of them losing in. So we have to look on more than one criteria and more than one section to really say they need this and so forth. I don't want to talk things on top of my head.
Okay. What do you think, Gary?
Yeah, the Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown over the last couple of seasons, I don't know if they are working well together. Because it was a question about who is the 1A. Jaylen Brown, feels he is the number one man. Tatum feels he is the number one man in the franchise. I don't know, the Boston Celtics haven't really, gave us a clear indication to identify, so, all right, this is the man. The season after Kawhi left, I know that they were playing well, went deep into the playoffs. I think the East has stepped up this season, and over the last few seasons, you see the evolution of the teams. Now KD coming over from the West, joining the Brooklyn Nets. We see Chicago getting better. Now Milwaukee has strengthened, won a title. So when you look at what Boston is doing now, they have actually regressed. And currently, as the team as constructed or constituted, this team won't challenge, not even in the next 2 to 3 years, for a title in the East. So or even coming out of the East or being top 3 or 2 and making some noise in the playoffs. They'll be able to make the playoffs this season at all, even the play. So what I'm looking at is I think they need to revisit, kind of they should look to probably break it up, to be honest. Keep one you wouldn't want to get rid of, because Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, those are the 2 main key pieces in your team. Identify which one you think you want to build on and break it up, try to get some pieces. I think they need to strengthen themselves defensively as well. But I don't see them keeping the team, the nucleus of the team as currently constructed, going into the next season. It won't do anything for them. They really need to get better by breaking it up.
But who exactly getting a team?
Come again, Robbie.
Who again would actually get another team there to really make it different with progression?
Boy.
Panning go for Dennis a joke thing that,
Yeah, so that's why for me, I think breaking it up, maybe not breaking up those 2 may not be required, because I look at them as similar to Kawhi and PG, where you have 2 really good wing players. I think it's the other auxiliary pieces around those 2 that not being a good fit right now. You have Al Horford, you have Schroeder, and you have Marcus Smart. Those guys don't shoot the ball well enough for me consistently. They're streaky shooters.
But you have to give Smart props, he's a very good after ball defender. You have to give him
He's good. Yeah,
so teams who end up on the field, I can't really find stats for those. So you have to give Smart some props to that.
True.
So the thing is, right? So my issue with them is that when Jaylen Brown play good, Tatum don't. When Tatum play good, Jaylen Brown don't. Right? So I believe if they can trade one of them, I would say probably trade Jaylen Brown. I think if I'm Philly, I'm asking for Jaylen Brown for Ben Simmons trade up. Those that. They'll give me Jaylen Brown and take Ben Simmons straight up. And I think Ben Simmons definitely can help out, because no, it wouldn't have to be your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn kind of thing. It would have been, we know that Tatum is a focal point of the offense. We know Ben Simmons is gonna be the ball handler. Ben Simmons is obviously a better defender than Jaylen Brown, and a better ball distributor as well. So I believe that would be a no-brainer. But let me segue into the Memphis Grizzlies, right? Because people have been talking about the Memphis Grizzlies all along. So let's just segue into the Memphis Grizzlies really quickly. So they have won 8 games now in a row, right?
Yeah, 8 games.
However, when Ja Morant was out, they won 10 games in a row, or 10 or 11 games in a row, right? However, those 8 games that they won in a row, they won 7 straight with Ja, because Ja didn't play the last game against the Clippers. And what I conclude from this, Gary, and I'll pass it over to you that you can talk. But what I conclude is that with Ja or without Ja, this Memphis team is actually a really good team. You know, that's what I surmise from it. Because guess what? Without Ja, they were beating big teams. With Ja, they are beating the said big teams as well. So can we now say, hey, I believe that the team is just a really good team. The team is well coached, and you know, as selfish as Ja is, they can still win in spite of its selfishness because the overall team is that good. Would you agree?
Yeah, man, the team is a fairly good team. They are 27-14. I think they're about 14 in the West right now. I know when he was out, they were on a good winning streak. Defensively, they were playing well. He has come back, and I know they struggled a little bit, but they started coming on strong now. But I think this is what happens sometimes when you have good players out. Come back to find a footing in the team, get back a rhythm. I think the overall team is a very good team.
Yeah, I think the lazy mind people need to exclude stop home with this, but Ja Morant alone down there and all them foolish. People say that is either a fan of Ja Morant or them don't watch Grizzly play than at all. And what me have to give credits to the youth, the coaching and the team. Him overall me have to give credits because the first 3 games in comeback, he want to play a way who wasn't effective. Now I have to bend into the system where them that play without him, and it's more effective. Now I can look on them as a team to go beyond the first round. You have to give the coaching and whatever it is, because no star player now go and change how they play. Because they believe they are the star. But remember, he's young. He not achieve nothing yet, so he have to change and work with what is effective to the team. I have to give him credits for that.
Cream, you hear me? I don't know if you hear what I'm going
Yeah,
to. Yeah,
John.
we're talking about Memphis.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Oh, yeah, man. The team is good, but are they overachieving?
No.
If you
I don't cream.
That's
Hold on,
there, are
hold on.
they really the fourth best team out there
Yeah.
in the West?
All right.
Ah,
Cream. The
am I
connection
breaking
kind of
up?
shaky in general. Yeah, man. Connection kind of shaky. Try and see what going on with it and circle back and thing because connection kind of shaky.
All right, let me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
Check.
think
All right.
I think some of the players them need to get highlighted though. Like as in the core players, Osceola and Jerome Morant, such as Jackson and B. You know them persons there.
Dylan
All right.
Brooks is there
Credit.
too.
So here
But
is Demo asking. Hold on, Gary. Here's Demo asking. Who were the big teams they beat
We have to
without him?
beat
I'm glad you asked that question, Demo, because I make
Jesus
sure someone
Christ.
pull up that before me even touch for the judge topic. I pull it up just for you. Would we consider the Philadelphia 76ers a big team?
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Would we consider, even though they have their struggles, would we consider the Lakers a big team? They have LeBron James. Okay. Would we
well, that's
consider
an asterisk, but that's fine.
would we consider the Miami Heat a big team, big
Yeah.
contender in the East? Absolutely. So they beat the Miami Heat. Okay. Would we consider the Dallas Mavericks, who just don't beat up the Golden State Warriors? Would we consider the Dallas Mavericks a big team? Good enough
Kind
team.
of struggling.
All right. Good enough because Dallas Mavericks are 5th in the West right now. They're 5th in
At
the
the
West
time
right
they were
now.
playing, they were further down, I think, in the games.
No, they were actually further up. Actually,
They were further
at
up?
the time they were playing. Yeah,
You sure? Okay.
because the Lakers were further down. The Lakers, the Clippers, all them was further down, and everybody started catching up momentum. So what I'm saying, Demo, I've listened, and I could go on and on and on. So I know you like to sensationalize and talk about John things. Say this team needs Ja in order to. But I'm telling you, this team won 10 straight games without Ja, right? And they won 7 straight with Ja. And my summary of all this is just that, hey, Ja is indeed a good player. He's not a great player. He's not a superstar as yet.
Yeah,
We will see if he makes an all-star team.
He will.
He hasn't made an all-star team yet, so we will see. But he's a good player right now. We have to be careful how we try to jump. We have to try to jump the gun and give people, oh, this is a superstar. Oh no, there's a what a superstar is. Let me tell you what a superstar is. A superstar is when your team is in absolute shambles. You can put the team on this person back and say, hey, take me to the promised land. I don't think Jack can do that.
You can call about 5 of them in the league. Typically, have about 4 to 5.
Yeah. Paul George is not a superstar to me. Paul George is not a superstar to me. Not at all. Because I can't put the team on Paul George back and say, hey, take me to the promised land. Anthony Davis is not a superstar.
No.
Joel Embiid is not a superstar as yet, as much as I love Embiid.
That's true.
Jokic is not a superstar as yet, as much as I like Jokic. They are good players, but they're not superstars.
So typically, sorry, Kims. Yeah.
No, go ahead, Gary.
I was typically have about 4 or 5 of them in the league, occasionally on a yearly basis. So when talk about superstars, talk about LeBron, KD, Giannis.
Yeah.
When Kawhi was playing, you could look to Kawhi.
Of course.
Yeah. So about 4, on average, you have about 4 or 5 of them.
I'll put
yes. All right. So you have about 5. So about 5 of them typically you would consider superstars.
These are superstars.
And they have stars. Big
and they have stars. Yeah, and then they have good players. Ja Morant is amongst the good players right now.
Good player.
As his career continues to rise, then we can move him up different tiers. But right now, he's a good player. All right, Trae Young. This guy is a guy that I believe is above Ja Morant. Why? Because this guy dragged the Atlanta Hawks into the Eastern Conference Finals, right? And then right now it's...
Why? Could we say that him have more so-called help than Ja Morant last season?
Ooh.
So you had a supporting cast last season, though.
Pillard and Bogovic and them Monday,
Bogdanovic and the guy
Gillard, where one in the genius brother there.
Gallinari and Bogdanovic snipers at the tree and my boy the name again, Jesus face.
Yeah, you could Auntie from Clippers.
Right now from my head.
All right. So
one to Williams. That's a Williams to go, right? A Williams in name?
Lou Williams?
And the same they go.
No, Lou Williams is good, brother. Yeah, I mentioned Lou Williams. Right?
No,
that man done for.
Actually help. Not talk about
no, that never help at all. That man play like 10 minutes a game. That man not good, brother. Hey, put up back that for me, the producer, please.
So you could have actually said that, do you know? Morant finally team actually picked now with support.
So it's a Trae Young has scored 25 points in 17 straight games. The most consecutive such games by a player in Hawks franchise history. Wow. Right? And Trae Young wasn't a player that I had a lot of time for when he stepped into the league. I thought his IQ was poor. I thought he took bad shots. I thought he was a poor man. I thought he was a poor man, Steph Curry.
Steph Curry.
Yeah.
The streak ended today, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he only scored 19 today.
Oh, really? Yeah. So see there, the streak all in already. So that's why I'm not really too keen. But Trae Young, though, I have to give him his flowers because I've said the same thing I say about Ja is the same thing I said about Trae Young. Kems, I disagree. Trae is not better than Ja. All right, Kitch, for you, no problem. Can you please tell us why you believe that Ja is better than Trae? Can you please tell us? Demo says Ja single-handedly took the Grizz to the playoffs. Boss, they played in a play-in tournament and then they went to the playoffs. Look at what Trae Young did with the Atlanta Hawks single-handedly. Look, if Trae Young wasn't in the team, where the Hawks would have been. Don't come tell me about Ja play in a play-in tournament. Don't tell me no foolishness about that, brother.
Hold on there. Is this man a fan of Memphis or is a fan of John Morant?
No man,
He's
he's a
a fan
fan
of
of
Ja
John. I
Morant.
think he's a fan of John.
He's a
Just
fan
straight.
of John. He's not a Memphis fan.
Okay, then me I calling it then. Okay.
Yeah.
But I want Kem speaking back off something that I think Cream was saying earlier before he left.
Yeah.
Some of the times, you know, the in the NBA season, you will have some, you know, anomalies or some Cinderella stories. Because last year, you know, you looked at Atlanta making it to Eastern Conference Finals. Nobody really had tipped them, you know, to do so well. And that was Trey's coming out party last year. When he kind of took it to the next level. Remember, you were saying I weren't a big Trey fan. Started to, you know, make some better decisions, you know, make some big clutch moments, come clutch shots in deep in the playoffs, you know, because they got by Philly. So last year they were kind of a Cinderella story. I think this year coming back, I know they don't have, you know, almost the same core team, but they came back down to earth. Grizzlies last year, remember, Jack took them in, you know, the playing tournament. I hear Demo saying took them to the playoffs. But you know, he lit it up last year, carrying them into the playing tournament. This year, I think the Grizzlies really are having a similar season, almost you could say that the Hawks had last season in the West, because, as I said, the West is a very strong conference, and they are currently fourth. It's good to see how it plays out during the entire season, but I think what would solidify Ja now, you know, being right up there in the convoy, people can have him, you know, a strong case for him being better than Trey. You know, if he goes on a tier, and actually the Grizzlies make it or keep the top four slot and him having like an extraordinary season in terms of the numbers for the team. So I think he can. The jury's still out, you know, because the season is fairly young. So close to about halfway. So if they finish strong based on where they are, and he's in, you know, the team finishes like fourth. You know, I don't think they can be finished, you know, 1, 2, 3. They can, hopefully the best seeding for them would be fourth. And he plays lights out. The team doesn't lose a lot. Then you can look at his season and say, all right, fairly analyze it and critique it based on his body of work. You know, but as I said, the season is young. Let's see what happens this season. But I think the Grizzlies kind of having one of those Cinderella seasons, even though they are a good team. But you know, let's see what happens during the course of the season.
All right. So, the first round of the All-Star voting has returned, and this is the fan voting, of course, right? So this is the fan voting. So I'll let you know. So for the Western Conference, right, the front court, obviously, LeBron James is number one with 2 million and odd votes, and then we have Jokic number 2, Paul George number 3. For the Eastern Conference, you have Kevin Durant number 1, Giannis number 2, Joel Embiid number 3. For the guards in the West, you have Steph Curry number 1, you have Luka number 2, and then you have Ja all the way at number 3 down there. And then for the guards in the East, we have DeMar DeRozan. I'm quite surprised. You know, I never know that the fans love him that much. But we have DeMar DeRozan at number 1.
I guess this is what he's doing as well.
In Chicago, the Chicago fans getting out there. We
Yeah,
have
man.
DeRozan number 1, Hard number 2, and
Hard number 2?
Yeah, Trae Young number 3.
So they have a really question if a popularity sometimes.
Yeah, some of the votes are. Some of the votes, guys, Harden, I don't know how we get to kind of the East.
Remember, Gary, these are fan voting.
Oh, well.
Only the fans voting. So obviously the fans vote for their favorite player.
Yeah.
You know, like Demo didn't have enough time to continue voting for Ja. You know, Demo, you need to put in some more votes for Ja, bro.
It is the Ja the third.
It needs.
They say him never vote enough.
He needs to get up there because right now it's going to be you know, the coaches and so, you know, are going to go ahead and vote. Everyone.
All right, quick question, Kims.
Yes.
You notice that for the guards, Klay is at what, 4th, and
yes.
Booker is in 5th. So
yes.
I saw some fans arguing, saying that it's unfair to players that have played for majority of the season to not have this amount of votes, and Klay wasn't played any at all to be up there. So they're saying that Klay should have been disqualified from the starting for now. What do you think?
Well, I disagree, right? Because guess what? Because I think if I remember clearly, I think the fan vote is 20% of the whole voting. So I think it's 50, 30, 20. I think 50 go to the coaches or something like that. And then I think coaches and media and all them people. And I think 30 go to the players or something like that, and then 20 go to the fans. Right? So again, Levon, great question you asked. But for me, this game is for the fans. We saw basketball without fans and how boring it really was. So I believe that give the fans their 20%. So if the fans want to vote for Klay, whether or not Klay going to play, yes or no, one time we see the fans then vote for Kobe, and Kobe retire long time. So that's also how it is. Fans vote for their favorite player. Fans vote for who they want to vote for. I have no problem with it. What I would probably have a problem with now is if fan voting was 100%. Because remember, at one point in time, fan voting was 50%. But due to this that was happening, they've changed it around now because they say, hey, fans are going to vote for whoever and certain persons. And remember, All-Star voting, really has a big weight on, your contract. Did you get an All-Star? Did you get an All-Star appearance? When your career is finished and they look down the line, did you make an All-Star team? So I think now, when they move it around now and say, hey, fan voting is now 20, and then the other sensible people who vote without emotions, really, 50 and 30. So I have no problem with it, Levon.
Quick question. Quick question, Gary. What does Luka have Joe Morant doesn't have?
Luka have that Ja Morant doesn't have?
Yeah.
All right, personally, I think Luka is, him out of shape now. But I see him as a better passer. He runs the offense a little bit more with more vision. Understand? His offensive game. Remember, he was the youngest player. I think in his rookie year, I think he had a better season than LeBron. And coming into the league, he excelled in his first 3 years, really, really to a level where we haven't really seen, somebody develop in his first 3 years. Ja Morant is really nice, a nice player, but I think overall the game is I would prefer Doncic because Doncic gives me more in terms of managing or balancing the offense. Offense goes a lot more through him, and he's a more, do it all play. I know on defense, Doncic is not really good, but I think when it comes to passing, he's more visionary than a visionary passer, and he sees the game better. He reads the game better than Ja. Ja is explosive offensively though, but I think when you take the overall game and the vision that Doncic has and kind of pulling his teammates around him better, I give that edge to Luka.
All right, so Robbie Rich, let me also add to what Gary said. Ja Morant make basketball look hard. he has to work hard to score the basketball. Have you ever watched Luka play basketball?
No, Luka is one of my favorite players,
The man play basketball so easy, so simple, and he's just getting buckets. Remember, let us put things in its proper context, right? Because perspective is very important when we're talking about these things.
Yeah.
I've seen Luka I remember now, I heard that Clippers had the best roster in the whole league. Best. And I've watched Luka brought that team to 6 games, to 7 games, and Luka scoring 30, 35, 40, 15 assists. So for me, obviously I think Luka is a better passer. Obviously, I think Luka can shoot the ball better than Ja Morant. Obviously, I think the IQ is better. I think that Luka demands more from a defense than Ja Morant. I believe on the other side, even though I would say Ja Morant and Luka, both of them are not world beaters where defending is concerned. But then, if I am a player, I want Ja Morant defending me. Small, I can just back him down, small body, and me shoot over him, easy buckets. I think Luka is more of a big body. I have to work hard to go around him. So I think right now, obviously, I've always heard about Luka in the MVP conversation. Luka this, Luka that. Luka will his team to the playoffs, not the play-in, but the actual playoff, tournament. So obviously the accolades and everything, I think that Luka, is a million miles better. Obviously, when you're comparing Ja Morant, right now you compare Ja Morant to players like Maxi from the Philadelphia. and when George Hill,
disqualifier. I don't really agree with some of the things. Disqualifier.
Demo,
No.
when I say Ja make basketball look hard, meaning if you look when Ja playing, when he might go and he might lay up and so. Oh shit, F4's drop. Hold on.
You know, look at it, point, Ja.
No, he is kind of a flamboyant kind of, you know.
When he's laying up and so, he must do too much. He must work
kind of twist and turn.
Basketball. When Luka is just easy, it's just buckets, effortless.
Easy.
Like Luka is art watching it, you know. And I just think obviously when we look at points per game, when we look at accolades, when we look at willing his team to victory, when you look at somebody again, as I said before, put a team on your back and bring them to the promised land. I want Luka. Ja Morant is a good player, all right, but he's not there yet for me.
Well, you think him playing pro at an early age, Luka Doncic?
Huh?
You think him playing pro? I'm saying to play for Real Madrid.
Of course.
Morant, 15, because because that was him coming over from Europe. Everybody attributed that because remember, he was when he started as a teenager, he was already playing back in Europe at 15 and 16 against grown men. So that attributed to his development in the league. Because remember when he started at 19, he was excelling. He had like the best, one of the best rookie seasons.
So I want you to tell me what Ja Morant is better than Luka Doncic at. I want you to tell me, and I want you to back it up with some stats, and I want you to back it up with some eye tests, because I don't only work with stats, but I work with eye tests, I work with video, I work with stats as well. So I work with a combination of things. So show me how Ja Morant is better than Luka. And then when we look at the Dallas Mavericks team and the Memphis Grizzlies team, I want you to show me how the Dallas Mavericks team is way better than the Memphis Grizzlies team. Because remember, it's 2 years now. It's 2 years straight now. Luka bring this team to the playoffs. I see Ja Morant twice one time in the play-in. The other time he went into the bubble, up in 8th place and fell all the way down out of the bubble. Luka is clearly the better player, but stop bringing down the man with nonsense. I mean, every time people talk the truth, when I claim say nonsense.
But Kems, I know
Yes,
Luka. I know Ja is a very good player, and when you look, all right, you see to put it into context, what Luka Doncic. Remember, he was Rookie of the Year. Remember, in his first season as a teenager, he had better numbers than LeBron James had, persons were actually saying, because when they compare the two at their career point in the first 3 years, he's actually, as people were actually saying, but people are saying based on the stats and what is happening, LeBron and Luka in his first 3 years, LeBron was a better player than LeBron. Luka is a better player than what LeBron was at that time in his career. Remember, so when you look at what he did coming in, the numbers in his rookie season, in the first 3 seasons, developing, into a very good or prolific point guard. Matter of fact, coming into the season, persons were having him as an MVP front runner.
Who is that?
And
Luka?
I think last season or this season, but persons were having him, even Fox and so forth, were saying, listen, based on what he has done in his first couple of years, having him in the MVP conversation. So when you look at his body of work in the first 3 years, it's really extraordinary, right? I know Ja has been a very good player. They were even comparing the 2 picks and looking at, either having Ja or Zion now based on what is happening in, both of them's career. You would look at saying, all right, Ja has panned out better. But when you look at the 2 players, I wouldn't back my eye and say, listen, I'm gonna take Ja over Luka no day of the week because of what Luka has done in his first 3 seasons as a professional basketballer and what he's done with the Dallas Mavericks. Because remember, the Dallas team is not really a special team. They got Porzingis, who's injury prone, and when you look at the team, he's really doing a lot for the franchise.
Exactly.
So I see him as a superior player than Ja. Don't get me wrong, Ja is very good, but I wouldn't take Ja no day of the week over Luka.
True.
Louis, me not like on the reason sports, brother. Me not like on the reason sports. Like you gotta ask me, who is having the better season? That wasn't the question, brother. Who is having the better season? The season is what? The season is not even halfway into the season yet.
Mm-hmm.
I see him so they tell me 2 weeks ago that LeBron is not a top 5 player. All of a sudden now LeBron is top 5 again. Like when it can't be so jumpy.
All right, hold on there.
Let's calm down a little bit.
Durant, I think Durant need to look on this, you know. But name Star and Memphis they have had from Jay Morant. And that alone play basketball still is over they play with them, you know. And actually Memphis actually play better. So I understand that.
We can talk about
and there was a debate where we had talked before and said the team play better without Morant. So I don't know why I mention stars either. Because if a stars you might use, might as well we're not playing no basketball and almost star win. But them don't understand that then. Not like them type of reason about who are better players. And you forgot to play.
That's basic school reasoning. Like that's a basic school reasoning because we can simply look at this. How does the Dallas Mavericks play when Luka is absent? And how does the Memphis Grizzlies play when Ja Morant is absent?
Yeah, we can
Memphis went on a 10-game winning streak without Ja. Dallas Mavericks can't even win 2 games in a row without Luka. Like, what are we really talking about? Like, what really are discussed here? Like we can make a point about obviously clearly my thing for Ja are the same thing as Gary thing for LeBron. You know, the Ja, you know how, all right. You know, like certain people can just do the bare minimum and get ratings from you. Not for Ja. Ja to be extraordinary to get ratings from me. I may be honest. You have to be extraordinary because I've seen Chris Paul done years upon years and Chris Paul still can't get the ratings he deserves. Up to now, Chris Paul in M1, 17-18 season and still after I try, I get ratings in the NBA, which is an absolute joke. Producer, give me something else there. I don't know if we have, I think I wanted to talk about the Chicago Bulls. I don't know if I sent it to you, the producer, but
I believe that them on the Bucks will go to the final, but
in the Eastern Conference final?
Yeah, but fair enough. But I don't think it highly depends on the health of KD. KD actually means some games out without that. I think it will affect the team.
And Robbie, you see that experiment that is occurring in Brooklyn. I don't like the media. And Kems will talk about the sensationalism. And me I'm going to talk about it. It's when it comes to names, and we talk about names on paper. Yeah. That is what I feel these people doing in the Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets have not achieved anything. I remember last season, they are the favorites. They were this victory. Them couldn't stay together. Them couldn't play more than 20 games together on the court. Who never injured, who they have hamstring. No, the issue with the vaccine with Kyrie. Like, people were prematurely crowning Brooklyn Nets like it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And they have not done anything. This season, them come back with the foolishness. See, I hear some of the pundits now. Kyrie comes back, playing the games away now.
Away games.
Come back in 4-22. This team is a team. Like the team not do nothing. The team, that they are about what? Second in the East now. But when I look at the team, it is going to be about KD. KD are the man. We're consistent right through from last season. Putting the team on him back, doing him thing. Harden is there, like, boy, I don't know what Harden are going to look like a figure. No, we know Kyrie's situation in and out of the team. Home games, no road games playing. So that will affect also the chemistry of the team. So personally, I don't see Brooklyn, they will finish the regular season with strong, having maybe 60 wins or 60 plus wins. But it's when it comes to the playoffs, you talk about Milwaukee.
Yes.
Right. Even some of the teams, like even Chicago, I know they don't. If and we see this season how Chicago deal with them, right? Without Kyrie and a Hobbled Harden. If them even buck up in a Chicago in a 7-game series, if we don't have a full strength team, them can't pass Chicago. I don't see them even passing Chicago with KD alone and Harden 50%. I tell you the truth, because Brooklyn are special. Sensationalism.
All right. But glad you said that still. Because what they watch him against Bucks and never impressed with Brooklyn. Because up to 18 points, how much points?
Sorry, Kems muted. Kems has said something. Sorry, Robbie Rich. Me and Kems are talking, but it look like he muted.
Muted.
Kems yours. Okay, go on, Robbie. Sorry.
So I say, I think people need to start here. But when Milwaukee Bucks more credits for their defense and a lot of things, and they more together. Because if you look on Milwaukee side, you can't pick a lot of all-stars where people want to try play basketball with on paper. Because them where them are play is you have a coaching and then togetherness and so forth. And they have done well. That's why I have to give them some props too.
Let me tell you why. So let me tell you why the Bucks now get a lot of credit now. Because they have already won a championship. So you see when you win a championship, Robbie, you're on a different kind of level now. So your expectation is different. If you look at last season before they won the championship, if they were playing this way last season, just like Giannis, you notice you just really hear Giannis MVP thing a kick up because man win MVP back to back, man win defensive player. So the level different. All right. You see DeRozan now, you see them a big up DeRozan, DeRozan this, DeRozan that. Let Chicago Bulls win a championship and then watch the next season how them treat the team. After that, them raise the level. It's kind of like them expect you to be at that level. So them not gonna say, oh, this and all that. Because you already did it. It's like you zero a game and you go back go play, but you want ratings because you zero the game already. No. So I just believe that is where Milwaukee is at. But for me, I love what Giannis is doing. I love Giannis' mindset. I don't say mindset. His mindset is something where absolutely real. I know Giannis a Gary boy, you know. Before when Harden come out and call him no skill and all of them stuff.
And he talk too much sometime, you know. And he cause additional pressure upon himself too.
Let me tell you, I've never seen a player that the man just put on him head and say, oh, yeah, Una forgot stop me. I could have I could have 2 on.
If you notice, and this is what, because remember, you know, they say sports is about 80% mental, right? If you have the skill and you have the ability, and you don't materialize when you're on the court. If you look at Ben Simmons struggling with the shooting, his was in terms of not wanting to shoot free throw, whatever. Remember last year, you know, everybody across Giannis, he can't shoot free throw. Him is just a run and dunk, and this whole tone around the NBA. Man said, listen, make a run and dunk to a championship. Yeah, he improved his free throws. You notice this season, I think late in the playoffs last season, he had a stretch where he had like 18 or 19 of 23 free throws made. I remember in the finals against Phoenix, right? He had the 50, and then he actually had, I think, about 6 or 7 straight free throws, and he has actually improved his 3-point shooting. So listen, when me see Giannis play, like if they criticize him on something, I say, listen, you're not good at this, or you can't do this, or whatever, him dare and step it up. Say, all right, I don't care what you're saying, I am going to improve. I'm gonna do it even more for sure. You say, listen. So it's just a mindset thing with athletes, and I realize that determines how far you go in terms of your game and your work ethic. Because if you look at Ben Simmons, his mental space when it comes to shooting, if he had that mindset that Giannis have in terms of attacking, driving, always want to develop and make himself better, you know, he would be a really exceptional player.
Because I tell you, Giannis can miss 5 threes in a row. Best believe he might take the 6th one. He might take the 6th one. And you have to be fearless. You have to be fearless like that. But you know,
I think he was brave though, because a lot of trading things that come for him, and him say, "But we'll bring the championship to the Milwaukee Bucks." So
and it eases the pressure now. When you win a title, it's like you get the monkey off of your back in the game, so you kind of play more freely. So you have no jittery, and you have the nerves, and you say, "All right, this season now." You know, even if the team not playing well, I think based on what them record is now, I know they had some injury concerns, but last season or 2 seasons ago, if they were like in this position playing this way, probably halfway in the season, you would hear a lot of things in the media about, you know, they don't think Milwaukee can go far, they won't do this, but they're defending champions, so people kind of, as I said, Kems earlier, it kind of different now, you know, the expectation is all right.
Ask you something. Since you said the championship is the burden now for you, so I'm the AD.
That's what everybody is saying, you know, because remember, you know, when you win a championship, you know, after that you're supposed to, because if you look at the players over the years who win champion, look at Kevin Durant right now, and not only in a basketball game, you know, in your demeanor, how you interact with people, Kevin Durant would dip on Twitter, tell people, show them middle finger if you this, that. You get what I mean? So when you win a championship, you have a particular swagger about you. It coming like AD shouldn't win the championship because as soon as you won the championship, the man get absolutely worse.
Yeah, maybe they made but like him achieve, you know?
Like him reach. Like all right, then.
They need nothing else in our life.
Man,
no, they need nothing else in our life. It's just, I don't understand for your mindset.
All right, but we're gonna definitely call it a night right now because obviously, there's some Sunday night football that, some real playoff implications here with the Raiders and the Chargers. But obviously, I'm going to give you guys a minute. But before, guys, obviously for this year, 2022 for sure, for Sports Frenzy, we're trying to get as much subscribers as possible. Gary, I still want 20 subscribers.
20? So I try, man. I'm gone 4 or 5 already,
So this is what.
More than Devin,
Hold on, Devin. Gary, so this is what I want, Gary. This is what I want. I want for the month of January, right? Your job, Robbie's job, my job, everybody's job. Let's get an additional 20 subscribers. That's all we want. You must know 20 people. There must be 20 girls where you try to talk to and them turn you down. Get them
start walking and take a people phone in the games. Some of them start walking and take a people phone. That's the only way I can get car. You talk to the people, if worse them not,
Yeah, man. You have to, no, whether them big sports fans, just take them phone and say, hey, I'm subscribe to this year. I'm subscribe for this year. You must can find 20 people. So Gary, at the end of the month, I'm going to come back to you and I want you to show me the 20 persons that you have subscribed. Same to you, Robbie Rich. Robbie Rich, if you are running a football team, you have at least 11 players. At least. At the bare minimum, you have 11 players. So that is already 11 subscribers. Plus, you must have assistant coach. Plus, you're a producer as well. So we're going to need them things. But Robbie, here is your minute. Right. Your minute of fame. Run it for me.
My minute that I think Malik Monk deserves all the credits. Him deserve. He's actually played good. Him averaging 20-something in the last 5 games or 8 games. Him actually playing good. And I think he wasn't. And I think he deserves to get paid next season. He need to keep it. Yeah. Him actually play good. But like him ball angling skill, him like him shooting and him brave. And him actually do him need for do on the court. Well, my concern is that playing LeBron at 5, we're gonna need somebody better at the 5. We come to other games, so she'll go play against Jalen B and then whatever the case may be. We're gonna need somebody for right this. So who's available? Nah, click to me right now, but I do my further research before I mention any names and so forth. Playing small not gonna beat every team. So we have to actually evolve from that.
I wanted DeMarcus Cousins to come over, but he went ahead and he just signed with the Denver Nuggets because he was playing some good basketball for Milwaukee.
Yeah, I wonder why Milwaukee wave him still.
I was surprised about that too.
Milwaukee have too much bigs. They have too much bigs.
Oh.
They have too much bigs, so they wanted some small players. They have too much bigs.
Yeah, and many people them know I'm a Lakers fan before LeBron even think about going to the Lakers. But we have 10 years plus for win back a championship. Yeah? Me a care Lakers. Remember the time when LeBron take up Nance, Clarkson, Wood, and all of them man they go over Cavaliers go get sweep or final. Me remember all of them things and buy me lip and go through. So nobody come with the wagon is on top about a legendary team will jump and I'm nonsense. After me here, I need me carry basketball. Kobe are the one who really make me care like I'm gonna give up. So there's nonsense about wagonist thing. Cut out them run flourish. If them a wagonist accept wagonist, though me not accept wagonist thing. If you rate a player is different, you follow them go everywhere. But you cannot jump from team to team and then want to come question my loyalty about Lakers.
Absolutely. Go and go sleep, man. Absolutely. Gary, you have anything to add, boss?
All right, quick. Never really have not much, but I'm looking at basketball in terms of the Eastern Conference. I know they haven't been getting a lot of limelight because you have the Brooklyn Nets and you have the Milwaukee Bucks. But want to give a special shout out to my, my whole team where I care from a little. The Chicago Bulls playing really good right now. 26-10, they lead in the Eastern Conference, 1.5 games up on the Brooklyn Nets. The Rosans, Zach LaVine, Vujicic, Lonzo Ball, Caruso. You know, they have a solid team defensively. DeRozan is playing some out of this world ball. The other day, I think he had back-to-back. I think I saw something where he said the first player in NBA history have back-to-back walk-off buzzer beaters in consecutive games So I know the Lakers fans probably, you know, balling in them sleep right now because this man, you know, that's a chance to get him and he, you know, went over with the Bucks, with the Bulls and playing really well. I like how the Bulls looking. I don't think based on they'll finish strong and then will make some noise in the playoffs, but they won't come out of the East. But them can ruffle some feathers. I think them and the Brooklyn Nets would be keen to see a series with those two teams. Because I said I would like to see how the matchups are because, you know, Harden is not playing special. Kyrie now fluctuating in and out, so that would be interesting. But I like how the Bulls playing, not getting a lot of limelight, but big up the Bulls, you know.
When I have a center rating of finding the Magics, it's actually good, you know. In the center, the European board.
Yeah, man.
Vucevic.
Yeah, I'm actually good.
Vucevic. I mentioned him earlier, man.
The same time play, man.
Yeah, man. I think I say E. Come here, say who that? V. Okay. Vucevic.
I find him there Magics, actually.
Yeah, man. Can get 18 a night. Good rebound, crash the boards, a nice 7-footer. Them have a nice team, and as I said, Caruso, you know, playing defense. Him now have the mind-blowing numbers like 10 and 5, or you know, him have 0 points, but we have 3 steals and get some key rebounds and some key assists.
Off the ball, yeah.
Cause every ball, it look like some all of the players them with Lakers in the last 2-3 seasons, them go somewhere and boy, they must prove a point. Boy, I don't know the Lakers rejects them everywhere you turn. Caruso, and look on Kuzma, when you look on all of the man, them like.
I think the pressure was too much for Kuzma. If the pressure never get that high, I think Kuzma would have played like a player, you know. Remember, it's like you're playing for a big team and you're on big players.
I think the expectation, because look on our Lanza ball too, because, you know, remember in father put him under pressure, it was the number 2 pick, and then LeBron, you know, rumors about him being traded, and then Magic did say something about, you know, him jersey hanging up in the rafters soon. So a lot of the players, Lakers, I think them get the pressure, some serious pressure over the years.
All right, boss. So for my minute, obviously, you know, Green Bay lost today, but Aaron Rodgers only played the first half. They played Detroit. They already clinched on number 1. They have a bye next week. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Tampa Bay going to play against the 49ers, and Tom Brady don't want that matchup, but I can't wait for it. Because Tampa going to be a first round knockout.
What?
Goat that is goat doodoo.
You see, anything me have a prediction right now. Right now, Kems. Me have a prediction right now. Anybody the Rams are play that like an overrated trash them pick up from Detroit, where I show interception and pick sixes, and him can't give a simple drive for be idiot San Francisco. Anybody them a play first round, them a get bungs. Tough on trash. I hear them come from ESPN every day. I talk about, Rams going to Super Bowl. Them not going nowhere. Them can't beat San Francisco. Yo, you know I'm vexing them. Yo.
All right, guys. Thank you everyone for definitely tuning in. Next week, obviously, you know, due to our nice, exciting Meals podcast is going to be on a Sunday. So now the NBA, as we had mentioned before the new year started, the NBA and the NFL show will coincide right now because obviously the NFL season is.
One here.
Kim's are gone.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you know.
I apologize. I just got a call. But as I was saying that you know, the season is coming to an end. So on Saturday, we're going to do the NFL and the NBA show. On Sunday, is going to be the Meals podcast. I'm not sure if Levon.
So Saturday then we have.
So it's going to be Saturday. So 2 show in 1. I'm not sure if Levon will be feeling well next on Monday for us to host a show, but I guess he'll let you guys know. But obviously, thanks to you guys for showing up. Thanks to the producer. who makes this possible. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And just stay tuned. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
I'm blessed.